Hi friends, welcome back to the new session of percentages. Right, now in this session we are going to discuss a little moderate level difficulty questions. In the previous 3 sessions we had some basic points about percentages. Now we will apply that concept and we are going to solve some questions which are asked in the recently asked competitive exams. Right, so now let us start with this first question. The question says, fresh fruits, a type of fresh fruits contains 75% of water, and the same type of fruit, that is dry fruits, means in dry status, it contains 20% water. If the weight of the dry fruits is 400 kgs, then what was the total weight when the fruits were fresh, is the question. Right? Just go through the question. I hope you understood the question. Now, let us go for the solution. This question can be solved with the unitary method in a very simple way. Don't go for any algebra. Simply with unitary method, 2 steps we can solve the question after understanding this one. Now, they have given in 2 parts. One is when the fruit were fresh, right? When the fruit got dried. Now, when the fruit was fresh, it contains 75% water. So, water content 75%. Obviously, pulp content will be remaining 25. And now, when it is being dried, they have given that the property is it contains 20% water. So, water 20% and obviously the pulp will be 80%. Alright. Now see, here we are going to solve this question based on a simple point. Very simple point we are going to solve the question. The point is that when the fruit is fresh or dried, the quantity of pulp is same in both the cases. Quantity of pulp is same in both the cases. Only change is that here the pulp is 25% of the total weight. Here the percentage is more, that is 80%. This is not because the quantity of pulp is being increased. This is because of change in the water. Here water was more, pulp was less. Here water was less. Means when from fresh fruit to dry status, in this case what happens? Only water got squeezed out. Right? Now finally the point is that the quantity of pulp when it was fresh and quantity of pulp when it is dried, in both the cases the quantity is same. I am going to solve the problem with that one. Now in the problem they have given that the weight of total dry fruits is 400 kgs. Now 400 kgs means in 400 kgs how much pulp is there? Because my question, I am going to solve the question based on the pulp. Forget about water, right? So now take the quantity of the pulp. Now pulp out of 400 kgs, the pulp quantity is 80%. So that is 80% is nothing but 320 kgs, right? Now the simple point, everybody can understand this one. When in dry fruits, the quantity of pulp is 320 kgs. When it was fresh, there also the quantity was 320 kgs only. So now here also quantity of pulp 320 kgs. Now my question is, when it was fresh, what was the total weight? When it was dried, it has become 400 kgs. Now very simply, when it was fresh, what was the total weight? I can do with the help of pulp percentage and quantity. Simple unitary method. In this one, when it was fresh, out of the total weight, 25% of total weight is equal to 320 kgs. Now, 100% of the total weight is equal to how much? Simple. Now it is 100 by 25 into 320. So now it should be 1200 and this is 80. 1280 kgs. This is the best out of the best ways to go for this type of questions. Hope you understood the question, right? I have not used any algebra for this one. Simple logical way we can solve the question by using unitary method. only point here based on which we have solved the question is quantity of pulp when it was fresh and when it is dried, both the cases same. Only percentage wise the pulp percent has been increased only because water content has been squeezed out, that is been reduced. Hope you understood this problem, right? Now let us move on to another problem on the same lines which is generally asked in many competitive exams. Alright, now let us take up this one. So we'll go for this question in this way. Right. This question is also almost on the similar rules we are going to solve this one. The question says like this: a mixture of 30 liters of milk and water, I'm writing mixture of 30 liters of milk and water contains 70% of milk, right? Now how much water should be added to the mixture to make milk and water proportion reversed. Milk to water proportion reversed. This is the question. Alright, so now how to go for this type of questions? First let us go with a simple method. After that, simple method means using our own unitary method here. Then after that I am going to give you a simple formula to solve this type of questions in one step only. Now what is the unitary method for this one? Here the original milk means milk and water mixture is 30 liters. Out of this one they have given the content of milk is 70%. Obviously water content is 30% because only two types of contents are there in this mixture. Now how much water is added? Observe that word. How much water is added, right? To make the proportion of milk and water, ratio of milk and water reversed in the sense in the new mixture, resultant mixture, after adding the water, now milk should become 30% and water should become 70%. Alright, it all should be done only adding some water to this one. This is the clue in this question. The meaning of this one, only water is added to that one means the other content is intact, not touched. Other content is not at all disturbed. Means what does it mean? Here, if you take out of 30 liters of water, 70% is milk. So 70% is milk, nothing but 21 liters. And of course water is rest of the 9 liters. Now, in the new mixture, I need to decrease the percentage of milk, not quantity, decrease the percentage of milk by adding water to this one. Means what does it mean? As just now I told you, the quantity of milk is not changed in that one. In the previous case it was 21 liters. Even now also it should be carried forward. In the resultant new mixture, milk should be 21 liters. Now how much water should be added to this one so that water becomes 70, milk becomes 30 is the question. In the new mixture, the quantity of milk is 21 liters. It is carried forward. Now my unitary equation is like this. In the new mixture, 30% of the new mixture is equal to 21 liters. Now I need not find out what is 100% of the new mixture because that is not required for me. What is required for me in this question is how much water is going to be added to this one, So to take that one forward, how much water is to be added, simply I will find out what is the quantity of water in the new mixture. After that I find out the final answer. So now in the new mixture, water quantity is 70%. Now 70% of the new mixture is how much? Now 70% of the new mixture, 70 by 30 into, of course, this 20. Now it should be 49 liters. What is the meaning of this 49 liters? 49 liters means in the resultant mixture, water quantity is 49 liters. The implied meaning, inner meaning is that after adding some water to the previous solution. After adding some water to the previous solution, now water has become 49 liters. Means previous solution was 9 liters. Now it has become 49. How much water is added means that is 49 minus 9. I have added 40 liters. To make the water content 70% and subsequently reducing the milk percentage to 30%. This is the way to go for the question. I have given you this solution in an elaborated way to make you understand what is there inside. The same question can be done in two other ways also. One is using mixtures and alligation method, right? When we deal with that chapter, I'll give you fantastic shortcut for that one by using mixture and alligation. But as of now, I'll give you one more formula for this one. With the help of that formula, within seconds you can solve the question, right? Now, the formula is like this. For any problem, any sort of problem in this way, right? When the problem is in this way, I can directly use the formula, right? Make a note of that formula. Now, finally, my answer should be 40 liters are added, right? Now, you see, with the formula, I can solve very easily. First, you take in this way. First, the total quantity of the mixture. Total quantity of the mixture into now what is the original quantity in this mixture. You take that one because now I'm like solving the question with the help of percentage of milk here, right? Now original quantity in the milk 70%, everything is in percent, 70% minus the quantity of milk in the resultant one, right? Resultant mixture, quantity of that one in the resultant one is 30, right? Divided by, you need to take a quantity of that one in the resultant one. This is 30. Now 30 gets cancelled. My answer is 40 liters. How simple is this one, right? So now, simple way. First you take what is the original quantity of mixture, right? After that is, here you take this 70, the original one, minus after resulting, right? Resultant mixture after this one, this is 30 divided by the original one. Original one is 30. The original one is 30. Just go for this one. Now you are going to get this one as 40 liters. Always do this type of questions in this way. Alright. Now let us move on to one more question. Again, this is from the previous papers, right? One of the bank examinations, they have asked this question. Now let us take it here. Again, we are going to solve this question in one step only with the unitary method without using any algebra. Now the question says like this. A student has to get, I am writing in the shortcut, you please make a note of this one. A student has to get, right, 920 marks out of total aggregate total marks. Otherwise you write down total aggregate marks, right? A student has to get 920 marks out of total aggregate marks to pass the examination, right? Now in this class, take a name. Kiran got, let us take 830 marks. You take, or got 830 marks and declared that he failed by 5%. Failed by 5% of marks, right? Now, what are the maximum marks? What are the maximum aggregate marks is the question, right? I read out the question for you. A student has to get 920 marks, right, to get a pass. this person Kiran got 830 marks and declared failed by 5%. In this case, what are the maximum marks is the question, right? Now, by using algebra also you can solve this question, that is very much elaborated. We are going to solve this one in one step only. Since we have been doing many questions based on unitary method, this is not an exception. I can follow the same method for this question as well. Now, this question easily we can go for this one. I can write in this way. Now, total marks required marks for passing is 920. Alright. Next, actually actual marks he got 830. What's the meaning of this one? He got 830, actual required one is 920. As a result of that one, he is declared failed. He got a failed. So, he failed by how many marks? 920 minus 830, 70 plus 20, that is 90 marks. Failed by 90 marks. On the other hand, they have given that he got failed by 5%. He got failed by 90 marks and again he got failed by 5%. In both the cases, total number of marks is same. We have been doing this type of questions, right? So now I can equalize these two. How can I equalize these two? Now, the statement I can make 5% of total marks is equal to 90. How did I come to this conclusion? He failed by 90 marks. He failed by 5%. Now simply 5% of total marks is 90. Then 100% is equal to how much? Now 100% is, it is 100 by 5 into 90. Right? Now total marks is this one, 1800 total marks. Hope you got the idea. Next time onwards, when you come across this type of questions, you should do this one in this way only. Actually, to make you understand, I have made it elaborated, right? But actually only two steps are there. Required marks 920, actual marks 830. The difference is 90. He got failed by 90. Got failed by 5%. Now 5% is 90, 100% is how much? You can get the answer. Hope you got the idea, right? Now let us move forward for one more question then, right? Generally, they ask questions based on population of a town or population of a village. Actually, this is simple one. With one step we can solve the question, because since we have not discussed this question in the previous 3 videos, we'll go for that one. Just try to understand that question. Now, let us take in this way. If they give population of a town, let us take 10%. A population of 10,000 you take it. After that we add or decrease 10%. Population of a town is 10,000 or was 10,000. In the first year, it got increased by 10%. Okay. In the next year, it got decreased by, let us take 20%. Okay. In the third year, again it got increased by 30%. Okay. Now what is the population after 3 years? Quite commonly asked a question, right? We will not go much into this one because previously also we have done 1 or 2 questions in this way. I'll give you the equation and you can solve this one. Simply 10,000, right, into first year 10% increased, 110 by 100, into second year 20% decreased, 80 by 100, into third year 30% increased, 130 by 100. You just simplify this one. Got the idea? Right. But what if the question is given in the reverse way? In the reverse way means that this is very simple question. You can solve this one. Now I'll explain you what if they give in the reverse way. Alright. In the reverse way, if they give the problem in this way, let us go for this one. Right, let's take in this way. During 1 year, let's take it this way. During 1 year, right. Now, the population of a village increased by 5%. Population of the village increased by, during 1 year, population was increased by 5%. Alright. Then, during the second year, it is decreased by 5%. During the second year, it is decreased by 5%. Alright. Then they give the clue in this way. If the population at the end of the second year, right? At the end of the second year, the population is, let us take a convenient figure, 19,950. 19,950. Now, they ask the question in this way. Find the population at the beginning of the first year. Then what was the population at the beginning of the first year is the question, right? I just read out. During 1 year, population was 5% increase. Second year, 5% decreased. At the end of second year, 19,950. Then what was the population at the beginning of first year? You can do this question also in a simple way, in a simple manner. Do like this. First take 19,950, right? Into first year it was increased by 5%, second year it was decreased by 5%. The direct fraction is into 100 by, because we are coming in the reverse way, 100 by, first in the reverse way 5%, first increased 5%, then 5% decreased. This is 100 minus 5 into, now 100 by 100 plus 5. Alright, let's solve the question. This is 19,950 into 100 by 95 into 100 by, this is 105. Alright, just solve this one. You will get, after simplification, 20,000 is the right answer. Right? When it is in the reverse way, we will go in this manner. Alright, now thank you all of you, and in the next session we are going to have a little more difficult questions based on the previous paper. Thank you very much.